This episode of the Diverse Creative Podcast is proudly brought to you by my O3 Music eZine. A little more on that later.
I'm gonna be in trouble. Ask for receipts. I'm gonna burst that bubble. Legends, rich, your money, shmoney. Who is your guy? I'm not the type to cry except when I fall. Turn to something beautiful. You know, for you I bleed myself dry. For you I bleed myself dry.
So, welcome to the Diverse Creative Podcast, and I'm here today with Yolandi DuToit, and you are a very multifaceted individual. You are part of a band called the Mermaid Riot, but you are also Praise the Loud, which is an incredible booking and artist management agency, and you have got some very, very up there talent, kind of in your circle. I'm very, very excited to talk to you today.
Thanks. This is very cool. I'm excited to chat to you too.
Amazing. So let's start out with you, Yolandi. How did you come into the music industry? I mean, I get that your journey is perhaps a little more interesting and colorful than your average muso. So where did this journey begin?
I was just a massive fan. I think when music speaks to you, whether it's because you hear it or make it or see it or whatever the case might be, it just spoke to my little heart. And a million years ago, I was a massive fan of a big South African band at the time. And I so badly just wanted to be a part of it. I was just like, let me sell your T-shirt, please. Let me just do something.
Let me be your merch girl.
Yeah, I was like, let me please. As long as I can see a show, I'll be so happy. Free merch girl for free shows was the arrangement there. And as it got more involved and I started tour managing a bit, I was like, my eyes was, it was that emoji of the little hearts just shining out of the face. And then in 2018, I had seen Wonderboom live at a beautiful festival called Lush. And I came home and I was like, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to work with them. I need to work with other cool bands. I need to do this for a living. And this was 8 years ago. And subsequently, the stable has grown. And we're very, very fortunate to represent some of the coolest artists in this country, like the Nude Girls and Wonderboom and Arno Carstens and Boo and The Narrow, Chris Chameleon, and very recently Black Hiedi, who we love. So it's absolute. I'm very, very, very grateful for the fact that I get to do what I love for a living, that I get to do it from my home, because I'm wearing slippers right now. Very professional of me.
PJ pants. I'm rocking it. Don't worry, I got you.
Just want to say, you can be so glad I'm wearing pants at this moment. but yeah, a while ago, a friend and I said, oh man, a dinner every now and again and a guitar comes out, term a dinner rehearsal. And we're like, we should just have some fun. We like doing alt covers. He's a phenomenal guitarist. I play the ukulele. And then we were like, yay, let's do a little Mermaid Riots and have some fun. And now we get to play a little festival on Women's Day. So that's quite cool.
That's amazing. And I mean, tell me, where did the name Mermaid Riot come from out of all of this? Like, obviously I can check the blue tinge to the hair that you got going down. The mermaid vibes are speaking to me just from your persona. But I mean, where did the name come from, really?
So yeah, I think the mermaid vibes go a long way. Listen, I'm a massive Disney fan, and so the best Disney princess is Ariel by far. Don't come for me. I will fight and I will win. The Little Mermaid is amazing, and it was like a little sweet and a little savory. It's not like we do, very sweet kind of ukulele sounding stuff. There's a new twist to all of the old covers that we've loved, some incredible South African music that we love, and we reimagine them. So it's a little alt, it's a little sweet, and then it's a little Mermaid Riot. So that was quite fun.
That's amazing, actually. And I love the fact that you put your own spin on those kind of traditional or like popular fan favorites. You know, I love the fact that you put your color to it, which is so important. You know, in this day and age, there's a lot of cover bands out there, and a lot of them are just trying to sound exactly like the band that played it. But you're never going to be the guy that first imagined it, you know, that first created it, no matter how hard you practice and how hard you try.
Yeah, that's somebody's, not even just IP, but that's somebody's soul. That's somebody's personal experience. And, you know, it's their tear, it's their joy, it's their inter emotion here. You're never really going to capture it the way they had to put pen to paper and bleed it out. And we're also very much not a tribute situation where you have to maybe try and emulate that in a way. I think this is just a guilty pleasure for us. Every time we think of something else to add on the set list, we're like, oh, what have you been singing recently? Like in your car, what has been on your playlist? We're like, we can try that. It doesn't matter. We don't have to appease the tribute gods. We can just do whatever we want and nobody can really stop us because we've got the microphone. So it's a futile fight.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think that it is also such an amazing thing that when you are able to do a rendition of something you love and put your own kind of spirit into it, that you are at the same time paying homage to somebody you admire, to music you admire, but at the same time, you're appeasing some part of your soul that has heard it a little differently, you know? You've been singing in your car and you found a harmony they didn't hit. And you're like, oh, I could do it like that, you know? And I like that.
Exactly what happened.
Honestly, I write a lot of music in my car, so I can relate. Because when I'm driving, I feel that it does kind of free you up a little. You're like, your kind of conscious mind is very distracted by the practicality of driving a vehicle, and your creative mind can go off on this tangent. And it's such a wonderful space to find new things in, really. So yeah, definitely coming up with new harmonies to wonderful things you love in a car is great.
It's so amazing. I always joke and I'm like, it appeases the ADHD gods, you know. It's like I have to focus here and that's great, but then I get to sing stuff and you're like, what was that? And I was like, oh, that is actually, it has happened where in the middle of a song there's a voice note to Thomas going, dude, have you ever thought about maybe if we try and do Slipknot on like the ukulele and acoustic guitar? Do you think that's an option for us? Like, you think I could pull that off? Do we do that? Is that a female vote? What do we do here? So
yeah, it is. It's fantastic. So I love the fact that you had that you go as far as saying like, let's take Slipknot and try and reimagine that on the ukulele and guitar. I mean, I think, please tell me that actually happened, because if you've actually done that, I'm so impressed.
Corey Taylor has a way of fitting in a good partner in crime by your side to just back you up on whatever weird, crazy dream you have. So no, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's really important also that you're working with someone that you obviously feel like really you have a lot of trust in their skill, you know, and in your own skill, because it is, for me, I focus a lot on original music, which in some ways makes it easy. It's a little bit of a cheat because no one can tell me I'm doing my own thing badly, right?
Yeah.
So there is that.
It's all you.
It's all me. Even if I decide to change the verse because I have totally misplaced the words in my brain and come up with new ones on the fly, no one can tell me I'm doing it wrong. So I think when you are doing something that other people know well enough, and even if you are putting your own spin on it, you still have to have a lot of faith in your capacity and your talent and in the other person's talent that you're working with to really, when you're on stage, pull it off, you know, and remember how you've decided to reimagine something.
Yeah, I think that, listen, I always say Thomas Selma Olsen is one of the most incredible guitarists in this country. And there's a big lesson in hitching your wagon to a big star, kids. Just if you don't know how to do something, go find somebody who does it better. Just be like, do you want to be my friend? Shall we do this? So that makes things a lot easier, and also rehearsing the ever-loving hell out of it, because by the time the stage is there, as you very well know, like by the time the stage is there, that's not a time to rehearse anymore. Now, all of a sudden, you need to deliver, and it's not that's not the time to go fishing for lyrics, because they do sometimes just tend to fall right out of your brain. And there's nothing that a second verse for a first verse swap out can't fix for the most part of things.
I have been there, yes.
It's like stealing from Peter to pay Paul situation there. But I think when you've rehearsed it well, and when you know your friend's got your back, and it's tight, and it's the two of you, and also still it's a lot of fun. I find myself with Thomas often after a song, instead of like talking to the audience, being like, oh, that was this or that, it's just us giggling each other, being like, oh my God, we totally just did that. That's so amazing. So no, it's a lot of fun, and a lot of trust, and a lot of just there's beauty in the synergy of a friendship like that, you know. We always say we're like good food, good music, and then we're good to go. And in this case, when we're performing at Bev's Burgers for Galpalooza, we're like, oh look, it's like a dinner rehearsal. We've got good food again. We've got good music. This is just an average Tuesday night for us. This is amazing.
That's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And I totally know what you mean. And I think that camaraderie on stage between yourself and your bandmates also is part of the show for people, you know. They want to see that the musicians have this connection, get along, and have a chemistry on stage. And that is actually like they get a little sneak peek, little hand, like a little backdoor insight. They get to watch a little bit of your own personal dynamic. And that is quite a kick for people too. I've always found that people actually appreciate that. When musicians like are stoically standing there and not communicating and not sharing the vibe, the stage presence kind of loses something there along the way, you know?
It does. I think when it's very clinical, if you treat, and listen, I haven't been performing live long in my own capacity, so let me not be the be all and end all of this, but I have seen the magic from many a backstage and many a side stage before. And working with the caliber of artists I do, you can see how the audience responds to that chemistry on stage. If you treat a live performance almost like a studio recording, and it's very clinical and it's very technical, and there's no give to the audience to let them see behind the curtain a little bit, you know, if you did forget a lyric and you're making a joke about it, that goes down better than trying to, you know, keep it all inside and being, you know, very, very strict with it. So people do connect with music because it's personal to them. They hear it in their most vulnerable moments. They hear it when they're in the car focusing. They hear it when they're naked in the shower. They hear it when they try and fall asleep at night. They hear it whenever. So it's not a clinical experience for the audience. It 100% is an emotional, personal connection to it. And that's what live performance brings to that. I always joke and I say, you know, we only live once, but with live performances, we can live a second time, because that's the song you got married to. That's the song you sang to your baby when you were pregnant. That's the song you got your first kiss to. That's the song you had your first many others to. And so you can relive those moments in a live scenario and get to live your life twice or 16 times, however many times you want to buy a festival ticket for, you know, it's up to you. It's beautiful.
And I think the other really important point to make is that with live performance, because it is real human beings on a stage, right, with the ebb and flow of their interactions with each other as well as their interactions with the audience, it brings a new dynamic to each and every show. Like for me, I find every audience is different, and the audience is actually part of that show, part of that experience. And so how I play a song may change slightly based on the energy and the feedback I'm getting from an audience. And therefore, it's so important for audiences to understand that showing up at live shows, that's a once in a lifetime experience. It may be the same song you've heard. It may be the same song that you love and know and remember, but it's fresh and it's new and you're part of it in that moment. So intrinsically.
Yeah. It's a grain of sand. It's never going to happen again exactly like that. You can, you know, when we work with bands who don't tour super often, but then they'll come out and we'll do a short tour with them. Somebody like The Narrow, for instance. You'll get people who will follow them to every single show because every night it is different.
It's different.
The
Exactly.
delivery, even if the set list is identical, doesn't matter. Like there's a moment in the crowd that's different. There's an eye contact with Hanu for a second. There's a, it's just, it truly is just every single show. And I would know because I have seen thousands of them by now and of the same artist. So I've heard these songs a billion times. And every time it's different. There's something beautiful. Somebody's voice is sounding super crystal clear today. Somebody had good news and it just shines out of them.
Yeah.
It really is just a once in a lifetime experience. And that's why you have to, as an audience, go to every one. You just have to buy all the tickets and go to every single show. You just have to do that.
Exactly, right? Because
That's easy, guys.
It's going to be new. And if you show up, you're part of that,
This week's episode of the Diverse Creative Podcast is very proudly sponsored by My03, which is a local KZN eZine, and I'm super excited to have them on board as our first official sponsor for the podcast because this is a concept that I really, really love and believe in. This local eZine does everything from artist interviews, music reviews, they have a gig guide, they do event reviews, they interview other local creatives that are doing projects around KZN, they do a new music review, they do a strain review, they've got a dispensary guide, and there's even more packed in there. And one of the amazing things about this eZine is it's such an interactive experience. You click on a link, it takes you straight to a digital magazine that you can flip through, you can turn the pages, and then it's got links embedded in it, which you can click on. It'll take you straight to the artist page. It'll take you straight to a map of dispensaries around KZN. It'll take you straight to a gig guide. It really is such an amazing, fun, and interactive eZine to read through. And it is supported by the local KZN community and by local KZN music lovers and supporters. So there's a bunch of writers that write for it monthly, including youth writers. And then there are volunteer writers that pop in and out, including myself. I have been one of those volunteer writers that share experiences they have around KZN and the KZN music scene and write about them for My03, which has truly become our 03. So I'm very proud to have them on board as our first official sponsor. So if you haven't had a chance to check out My03, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. So please do go find them on social media. You're looking for My03, and you will be able to then go and find their back catalogue of magazines right from day one and read through all the amazing stories that they have collected along the way. So please do follow the link and check it out.
Recently, where I've been looking at, I'm always looking at new ways to market music. I'm always looking at new ways to market shows and to reach people and get them to see the value of coming out of their houses, of leaving their cell phones and their little screens and boxes and, coming out and being alive in a space. I've really looked recently at how emotions play into that and how if we can explain to an audience what they're going to get emotionally out of a song, what they're going to gain for their heart and soul from showing up and watching this show, being at this event, then they're so much more inclined to participate. It's not just, listen to this because I'm a muso and I need you to listen to my song. It's brand new and it's lovely. It's not just that. This is something I've shared. This is something I've been through. Have you been through this? If you've been through this, I know what you're feeling, and this is for you. And I think that is also such an amazing thing that we have to remember as musicians, as events organizers, is that we are connecting with people's hearts and souls, and it's the emotional connection that matters. And I mean, I can imagine you feel the same.
100%. And we're going to just quickly use an editing moment here because the hay fever is killing me and it looks like I'm about to cry my eyes out. And we'll just say that the emotion that I feel for the music industry, I'm so overwhelmed by it, dear heavens.
It's deep in your heart, I can tell. And your sinuses.
Yes. I think you're so 100% correct with that. It truly, you're not selling a product, you're selling an experience here. And it's hard to sometimes put that into a product description of a show or whatever, because ultimately you're selling the way that people view this product being sold to them on social media as an event created, as an email received, is very clinical. It's very two-dimensional. And so it's hard to translate you being part of a once-in-a-lifetime blip in the universe to that, to translate between the two. But it truly is, when we do engage with audiences, we are selling them an experience. And I think a lot of things play into it. Like we saw a very big decline during the COVID years, obviously because of permissions and stuff. But even after that, even when things returned to normal, spending habits had changed, spending trajectories had changed, where people would have bought tickets way in advance in the past. They don't do that anymore. And you have to navigate this tightrope of like, welcome to this wonderful experience. It's mysterious, it's beautiful, it's special, versus just come to my show. Just trust me. Just go to my show. It's going to be pretty, I promise you. And once again, those worlds colliding, but also like translating that to somebody on social media where they're going to find your marketing, where you are one of a million billion tiny little fish in the biggest pond ever. So it just goes. So it's hard to connect to people that way, to convince them to really come connect where it's happening. But then those who do speak for themselves, there's the word of mouth isn't something you can really fight with. They know.
And I mean, this is another thing that a friend of mine, he's a radio DJ, and he and I have discussed, that people need other people to tell them something's good. They aren't, especially in this day and age where AI is such a thing and you don't actually know if what you're watching is even real to begin with. It's such a big thing that you need another human being to say, hey, this was amazing. So that word of mouth is still so valuable when it comes to marketing and to extending. And that's why, like, if you don't connect with your audience, they're not going to go out into the world and be your spokespeople. That's really what your best fans are. They go out into the world and say, have you heard this band? It's incredible. Have you been to this event? It was really amazing, and that is still the best form of marketing,
I agree. I think we've seen it before. We've done a couple of Praise the Loud fests, and the first one we did, it was out of the blue. It was the first one. Nobody had seen a history of it before. There was nothing for them to go off of. And then afterwards, we had such good feedback of people going, I saw online, it was awesome. And I was like, you saw online? We didn't stream anything. There was no performance online, but purely because of their friends and their friends' friends, everybody filming a clip and sharing it and sharing those smiling faces. I've got a VIP bag. I've got a drink in my hand. This is, that sort of builds to the next one. That sort of ripples out to the rest of the world. And you cannot buy authenticity. You cannot fake it. You cannot manufacture it. You cannot. If I could buy it, I would be very, very broke right now because I would give it all my money. But authenticity at the end of the day is where I feel that's what audiences gravitate towards. And I have no idea how to duplicate that. And if I did, I would be the richest person in the world. But that's where it is. And it shines through from a stage to an audience, and it shines through from an audience when they go and tell their friends at home. And everybody looks like the emoji with the little hearts for eyes. So,
yeah, I think that's incredible. So quickly, let's just chat about Praise the Loud. I don't know if this can be a quickly, because it's such an amazing thing that you do. And you work with such incredible bands and such really big names in South African music. And artist management is a really challenging task. I guess it's not an easy job description, let me just say. It's, I mean, I'm just trying to like help other artists that I really believe in to get platforms and get their music out there. And even just getting them to get a simple SAMRO code is like straining my brain some days. So what you do on a daily basis is an incredibly challenging thing. But you obviously love it so very much. And you've had a huge amount of success. Otherwise, you wouldn't be managing the people that you are managing. So how did you start a business and grow it into what it is today? How did you manage to find your feet doing that?
I think, honestly, authenticity. I
Oh, I
I
love the way that
love,
tied back.
it comes back to it. I love the music so much, even and I just sometimes I think I'm just the ultimate fangirl. Like I just want to see it happen. I want to be part of that audience. And if nobody else is going to put on that show, then I'll just put on the show myself so that I can go be in the audience. But it did, like as I said, Nana, like 2018 when I saw Wonderboom and I spoke to a friend. I was like, I need to give Cedo a call. I need to be part of this. Do they not understand how amazing this is? And they took a chance and said yes. And they've got a bunch of side projects as that band, different musicians, like you've got Martin Rocker and the Six Shop coming out of that. There's Absinthe with Paul Flynn from Sugar Drive. There's a sort of like a Spanish trio with El Cantante. There's a bit of a more gothy vibe with Blood Honey. So you've got a couple of musicians that have got smaller projects, and then the call comes from an honor cast saying, would you like to like look at the Nude Girls? And you have to catch your breath and be like, oh yeah, totally, dude. That's, I can totally have a look at the Nude Girls if you want me to. And then hang up
Whereas
the phone and
inside,
go
you're like,
scream in the corner of the room. Then I remember at the time being on the phone and my husband sat next to me and I just wrote on a post-it, I was like, SMG. And he looked over, he's like, oh my God, with who? Who are you speaking to? Is it Theo? Tell me everything. I'm like, I am on the phone. I cannot tell you anything. I know nothing right now. And then from there, as the word spreads with an audience, the word also spreads with musicians. So you get a call from the Narrow, and that was life changing. And then you want to do more stuff, and you approach Boo to do it, and then Chris is keen to do solo stuff. And so, if you put everything in, it does come back to you. Not saying it's not damn hard sometimes, because it's interesting being a translator between a very creative world and a very logistical world. I understand that you want to go play a show and the vision is, we want to do this. Like we did Wonderfest earlier in the year because it was Wonderboom's 30th anniversary and it was at Sonnage. And there's this vision of what we all want to pull off. But at the background, it's like, okay, so if the nudies play, that's 5 flights from Cape Town. They need to sleep. I need 2 vehicles. Cool, I've got that. What time do they need to fly? What time is sound check so that I can work the flights back? Not a problem. But what's honor doing the night before? Will you have slept enough to like be at the airport at that time? Where does everybody live again? How far are they from the airport? Okay, not a problem. It's like the weirdest intricate form of Jenga that you can play, but you are also playing it with people's hearts because you need to make sure all of the Excel spreadsheets of the world are ready. And then everybody takes a breath and sound check is done and the lights dim and the audience chatter sort of stops and the applause roars out and you're like, okay, this is the moment. Like this is what's happening. And I still maintain that it is the most volatile way you could possibly do therapy. No therapist in the world would recommend being a musician. You are taking your most vulnerable thoughts, feelings, your weakest moments, your tragedies, and then you are putting them out in a world full of sheep who won't necessarily understand it. And it is the most volatile audience you can ever play that to. It's not recommended for the soul. I don't know how musicians do it because
quite an emotional roller coaster.
It's quite like you can be up there singing a song about someone passing, somebody falling in love, and there's a drunk guy in the audience, starting a brawl. So it's I think harmony. That's what we strive for. It's crazy. It's chaos. It's me in my little blazer behind a laptop. I don't always wear a blazer. It's mostly pajamas. It's all got capybaras on them. It's a very, very strict dress code here, praise the loud. And it's a small team with 3 ladies video conferencing across South Africa. And that's the cog that turns it. And by the time it gets to everybody else, they can just absorb it and take it in. And the musicians don't have to worry about the Excel spreadsheets, because if a musician worries about that, they're not writing the songs
This is
that
exactly it.
the audience needs from them.
Yeah, that is exactly it. And that is why it is so vital when you do get to that place where you can afford to interact with someone like yourself who's doing all that very technical logistical stuff. It really does take the weight off and allow you to continue to be your ultimate creative self and musician, and to really thrive in that. And I really think it's an amazing job that you're doing, and an amazingly challenging job, because I mean, as a musician, I know what we're like. not deluded in any way. So I think that if there was one piece of advice that you could give to any musician, regardless of whether they are starting out or whether they're already a big name, in order to, whether it is just achieve your goals or whether it is streamline the process so someone like yourself can do your job at your ultimate, what would be your one piece of advice you'd love to just say to musicians, like, guys, do this?
Don't fake it when you're on stage. Just don't fake it. And if you can keep the spreadsheets running by themselves so that you don't have to equate your creative worth to money, as hard as that is, then I think there's a good way forward. I don't think any musician should ever have to be in a situation where they have to fight and justify their own financial value and worth, because what you are giving the world is invaluable. And so to put somebody in that position is just cruel and unfair. They should have a middle person to do it for them and to go fight the world for them.
Oh my goodness, I could applaud you so loudly right now. Like, totally. Praise the loud. Like, what can I say?
Oh, I love that. But yeah, that's just my viewpoint on things. Once again, not the be all and end all, but I look at the artists we have, and I'm incredibly proud. And the feedback from the audience is incredibly, like, heartwarming. I will start tearing up for the right reasons and not for hay fever right now. But it's incredibly heartwarming to see the reciprocity, 5 points for me because I'm Afrikaans, between the audience and the artists, and just see the magic that happens. It's almost palpable. You can almost just...
It's a very tangible thing when you're there and feeling it. It's a very, very real thing. And honestly, like, great advice, fantastic advice, and something I actually think a lot of musicians really need to hear. So as you were saying it, I was like, this is just 10 points, like 10 out of 10. Great advice. So we've got about 5 minutes left. So let's just talk about Galpalooza quickly. And you obviously have mentioned where you're playing. Galpalooza is happening in pop-up venues around the country on Women's Day. And I know they're very excited about having you involved in Galpalooza. And it sounds like you are equally as excited about the whole concept. Tell me how you and Galpalooza came together.
So I've seen Galpalooza as an event happening for the last year or two that it's been on my radar. It might be a little bit longer than that, but that's how long it's been on my radar. And when I saw they went live, I actually texted Thomas. I was like, should I put us forward for this? Because I really want to, like, I'm a gal. You're not a gal, but we'll get you to, I don't know, do your makeup better. But I want to go play this. And he said, absolutely. And on the same day, Jolene texted me, because she had seen, I had like a little ukulele set at Strab 2 years ago. And she just said, do you want to come do that? And I just thought, it's so cool. I think the whole concept of it is so cool. On Women's Day, to have a woman take over, who, I think it's 9 stages now across the country, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's 10, yeah.
So, I mean, the big event being at Railways, which is a venue that we love. We love doing the Railways. We've played it, the outside acoustic stuff. We've had bands play it inside. We've played that venue top to bottom, both branches. You just give us a Railways pinky, we'll take the whole elbow. So that's quite cool. We're part of the pop-up in Joburg at Bev's Burgers, so Mermaid Riot will be doing that. But I think afterwards we're all joining the after party at the Railways gig anyway. You know, we'll play our gig and then we'll mosey on through to the bigger one at Railways. But they've got one in Knysna, they've got one in Cape Town. Yeah. And I think it's just so beautiful that this is a female-focused event, but also that it curates this wonderful network of girls, always having each other's backs, always having recommendations. It's not easy being in an industry that's so male led, and you find it from every direction, whether you're an artist, whether you're on the logistical side of things. It's not always easy. If you've got boobs, sometimes people think they don't have to listen to you. So it's an interesting situation. But to see this happening and to be part of that network and be part of the girls being like, well, you should try this venue. Actually, yes, you try that. This is safe for girls. This is amazing. This was my great experience here. They value this here. It's been amazing. And I can't wait, A, to perform on the day, but also just to see more cool people in the audiences appreciating more female lineups. We need bigger female lineups. Yeah. And this is the way to curate it from a small to a bigger scale, depending on which pop-up you are part of.
Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. And I think that they're very lucky to have you on board. And I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely fantastic festival. So for everyone out there, go and check out Mermaid Riot at Bev's Burgers. And where else can people follow you? They can obviously go and check you out on social media and support all your different bands that you support.
Like all the pages.
Just go like all of them. All of them.
Just go click on everything and go like it. But yeah, you can find Mermaid Riot on Instagram. You can go check us out there and on the TikToks. And for updates on everything else happening, go check out the Praise the Loud stuff. You'll find Mermaid Riot stuff on there. You'll find other artist stuff on there. We're putting some attention on the Galpalooza stuff on there. So you'll just see if you want to want to live a cool life and just want to know where to go, just go check it out and go to all the things and live a cool life. It's a very easy solution.
You've got it packaged there for everyone. Thank you so much, Yolandi. This has been just a wonderful conversation to have. And I really look forward to chatting to you again in the future. I sincerely hope.
Oh, this has been so much fun. It's been really, really chill and a lot of laughs. So with this, yeah, one of the most low-key, fantastic interviews I've done, where it's just gabbing away. So this has been great. But yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Such a pleasure. Such an absolute pleasure.
Ep23 started as a pure passion project, just me conceptualizing, designing and writing every single page to archive our amazing creative energy of our KZN, my O3, our O3. What began as a solo mission to document our underground scene has evolved into a massive living cultural archive. That deep dedication to documenting our youth culture even earned me an invitation to sit on the Solga panel, because at its core, my O3 is about community. Our 14 archived podcasts connect you to KZN musicians, all backed by passionate resident volunteers. We have local tattoo artist, strain reviewer and EDM DJ alongside a Sangoma, tarot reader and psychologist for holistic well-being, and we feature permanent teen writer, resident photographers and rotating community voices, ensuring that there's always something fresh and relevant for you. Best of all, there's nothing to download. It opens instantly from a simple WhatsApp link. It cleanly adjusts to one-page views for phone screens or 2 pages for laptops. Inside the magazine is a fully interactive experience. You can read the written text on our feature articles. You can tap a link to jump to the musicians' Instagram pages, watch video interviews as well as event clips. You can listen to music tracks directly from our review pages. We also host a KZN gig guide, in-depth strain review, link to the source shops, or use our interactive map to search for reviews town by town and take walkthroughs of the dispensaries. Check out Linktree for all the magazine links, because my O3 is our O3.